Brain Vision Painting Techniques 9. Development of Chinese painting. The development of European painting is the most complete. The development of Chinese painting is unique. Why? The development of Chinese painting began with the second step of seeing. During Tang Dynasties, China began the first step of seeing, and developed realistic style painting. Many Chinese painters, also writers, quickly turned to the third step of seeing, linking painting and poems together. Cai Luan, 63 to 121 AD, improved papermaking technology. China began to use writing tools such as brush, ink, paper, and grinding stone. These four tools are also known as study room four treasures. Originally painted in a cave or painted on a building, painting was changed to use paper. Painting became easier and the Chinese painting began to develop rapidly. The use of study room four treasures made Chinese painting develop rapidly. Over-reliance on study room four treasures also made Chinese painting into literati painting, which limited the diversified development of painting. Gu Kaizi is the founder of Chinese painting theory. His core idea is to write essence by form. The form refers to the shape and color of the character. Essence is the spirit, the character's thoughts and feelings. The relationship between form and essence is, the essence is the commanding and soul of the form, and the form is the basis of the essence. Luo Shenfu is the masterpiece of Gu Kaizi. This is the copy of later generations. Gu Kaizi used lines, outlined the facial features and contours, and clearly depicted people. In the three steps of seeing, Gu Kaizi emphasized the second step, extracting the feature pattern from the virtual reality of the brain, and drawing the feature pattern with lines. The blue and green landscape painting is the mainstream painting school of the Tang and Song dynasties. The conversion of landscape painting began with Wu Daizai, and Li Sixun and his son completed it. Landscape painting, in addition to extracting the contours of the features, also understands the spatial perspective relationship in order to produce depth of field. To put it simply, landscape painting must be close to the virtual reality seen by the brain. Shown in painting, the boat in the distance becomes smaller, and Li Sixun understood the perspective relationship. Looking at the house in front, the front and rear edges of the roof are parallel lines, and Li did not understand the vanishing point. In the three steps of seeing, Li Sixun began to emphasize the first step, used perspective technique, and made the picture close to the virtual reality seen by the brain. Wang Wei is the founder of landscape painting of ink. After Yuan dynasty, landscape painting of ink became mainstream school in China. Landscape painting of ink is known as literati painting. In the common influences of Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism, Wang Wei created landscape paintings of ink. He used black and white to express the deepest mystery of landscape painting. Wang Wei's paintings removed the color, only black and white. He used study room four treasures. Wang Wei was a poet, calligrapher, and painter. It was a natural combination of poetry, calligraphy, and painting. In the three steps of seeing, Wang Wei began to emphasize the third step, using poetry, calligraphy, and painting to form a more intense visual experience. Zhu De, the nickname of Bada Shanren, Zhu De developed abstract flower and bird painting to the peak. In his painting, the ducks with big white eyes show a contemptuous expression. In real life, ducks don't have that eye. Zhu De combined the feature patterns of the duck and human white eye. Viewers receive these two patterns, compare to the memory patterns in their brains, and match to the staring white eye of people, which is linked to the interpretation of people expressing contempt. In the three steps of seeing, Zhu De emphasized the third step. He combined animal outline with human facial expressions, was an anthropomorphic painting of animals, and a pioneer of cartoons. Qi Beishi is the most famous painter in modern China. He advocates, painting must be form-like and essence-like, wonderful between like and not like. Qi Beishi painted shrimp is the most famous. In the early days, he painted shrimp, which was a sketch, emphasizing the first step of seeing. Later, he emphasized the third step of seeing. The shape of the shrimp had changed a lot and it was more transparent and more vibrant.